Good morning, everyone. It is 10 o'clock. We're going to get started on time. And for those of you that have joined, thank you so much. Hopefully we'll have others join with us in the next few minutes.
Well, to go ahead and get started, while we're waiting on people to get on here, I would like to introduce to you guys a new licensing specialist. So I'm very happy and excited to say that Jared has joined our team here on the PRTF side. He'll be doing a little bit of placement and helping us out with those PRTF facilities over on the northeast side of the state. So Jared, if you would say hi, so I'll let everybody see your face and they can kind of put a face to a name here.
Hello, I'm Jared. Really excited to be here. Really excited to get to know all of you and get out there in community and start, building that relationship. So it should be fun, and I'm excited to get to work.
Great, thank you, Jared. So I'd like to start on just kind of figuring out what everybody has been up to. It's been a month since we last talked, so I'd like to hear about what some of the things that you guys are doing at your facilities, any interesting things that have been going on with the kids, any events that have taken place, anything anybody would like to share. I'd really appreciate it, because remember, we do spread that news and that awareness in our newsletter every month. So I'd just love to hear about these things.
Hi, Chelsea. This is Helena from Forest City. We actually currently have a mathematician here on site from Fetterman, and they're coming and doing activities with our boys every day. So right now they did a velocity. Actually, right now they're outside doing a velocity activity with airplanes. And he's doing a total of 8 sessions. And then he'll come back in July as well to do 4 more sessions. And of course, we've been doing our regular scheduled activities. We had a lot of stuff for Memorial Day. We had a gaming truck on site. We had a barbecue, limbo contest. So quite a few activities going on to keep our kids busy. We have a nice flexible schedule where they're doing like a half a day reading program and like school-based activities, but not necessarily school, but just to keep them interested in reading. And then in the afternoon, they do more like activity-based and milieu-based things. And it is assisting with the reduction of incidents. So it's real positive around here.
Always a plus. Always a plus. So how did you go about finding this individual that's come to do this with the kids?
So our director of education, Ms. Paulette, she oversees us, West Memphis and Springdale, and she is really connected with Fetterman. It's some type of, I'm not really sure, I don't want to give you any incorrect details, but I know they are a school-based program. They've been here to do like ACT prep for us and different things like that. So she reached out to them and they sent someone.
Okay, so that's great. That could be a good resource for anybody that's looking to do some educational based activities with the kids. It's always fun, and it's always easier and better, in my opinion, to learn hands-on stuff with. It's how I learned. Well, great. I'm glad to hear that. Is anybody else on the call that would like to share some things that have been going on at their facilities?
Yeah, so this is Charlotte at Forest City. Just to piggyback on what Helena said, I did get Paulette connected with the county extension office, and they're going to come up once a month, and we've already had the schedule all the way up to April of 2024 that they'll come out once a month with nutrition, teaching nutrition and showing examples of things, healthy eating, and it's free. And everybody has a county extension office. So if anybody's interested, they can contact their local county extension office to get those services as well.
Great, that's amazing. Great. Add that on here too. But anybody else would like to share? I know we've got some people jumping on right now into the call. So that was Renessa. Renessa, are you on here?
I'm on for Piney Ridge. I think she's in a meeting.
Okay, there's Kathy. Okay, Kathy, how's things going over at Piney Ridge? Have you guys been doing some activities with the kids?
Oh yeah, we had today some of them are going to the aquarium. We had a picnic at the park for about 65, I believe, last week. And Justin, our CEO, cooked for them. We had Kona Ice come in on Monday. So they could all get a snow cone in the heat. Everything's going real well.
Good deal. Okay, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
So as a recap to the last newsletter, because I'm going to keep this pretty short for us today. I know that we're going to have a little bit of discussion over the Act 806 here shortly, but the newsletter from last month that came out in June that I sent out to everybody had some training opportunities that were listed. So if you had missed any training opportunities that were listed in the previous newsletters, those are on there and available for you guys to go back and look at. Again, thank you guys for, sharing and taking the time out of your days to be able to be on these calls with us and discuss these things. And the intent topic that we talked about in the June newsletter was the 911.15, which involved, like strings or anything that could be used as self-harm in the residents' rooms or in their immediate vicinity. So I just want to point out, I know that it's with summertime being around and the kids are leaning more back towards those baseball shorts, things like that. Those tend to have those long strings in them. So be mindful of those, making sure you're doing room sweeps and checking things as new admits come in to ensure that those things are being removed before they're going to their rooms. We've seen a little bit of an uptick in the amount of citations we're doing for that standard right now. So we just want to remind everybody just to do a sweep, make sure that those things aren't in there. We want to keep these kids safe and definitely don't want to have to do a citation. But priority here is keeping these kids safe. All right, so moving on, the next thing I have on here, we're going to talk about Act 806. I don't know how many of you have been following that, but that is the new legislation that was passed regarding the quality of care for our PRTF facilities here in the state of Arkansas. I know we have Michelle, our lawyer here on with us, and I believe she's going to give you guys a little bit of a recap of what that is and what our plans are and what we're doing moving forward and when it comes into effect. And if you have any questions regarding it, please feel free to email us and we will find some answers for you and get back with you on them because it's still pretty new to us too. So
hey, Chelsea, we're transitioning. This is Tanya. As we're transitioning to Michelle, I just wanted to hop on today and make sure that our providers, specifically PRTF, which this call is for, are aware. And I became aware of this late last night that Disabilities Rights has posted a series of police videos from your facilities with dates. We are all partners. I know we have different roles to play, and sometimes we have tension, and you may not agree with the compliance things that we cite, but we are partners, and our goal is to make sure that the youth that you serve are successful and that your program is successful. I'm not letting you know this to cause any trouble. I just feel like as a partner, I was made aware of it, and I want to make sure that you all are aware of it. You may already have seen it. You may already be aware, but it is on their website. And I just wanted to make sure as a good partner that you had equal opportunity and access to that information. So that's really it. We will keep you guys posted as we move through LEARNS Act. I also just want to extend an incredible thank you to all the work that you do. Things are in a little bit of a pause, so we're all working together still here in the Division of Child Care. But as we move forward, you all are probably aware of some of the transitions. So I just want to say thank you for the work that you do. We've always cared about the work and the kids that you serve, and we want you to be successful because we want those children to have success in life. So thank you all so much. And Michelle, I'm going to let you take it from here and talk about Act 806. I
We
see
can't
Mich-
hear you, Michelle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I see she's unmuted. Maybe she's having some audio, but Michelle, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Well, while she works on that, then we'll just kind of let her come back in whenever she's ready. I know we've been talking a lot about background checks and other just kind of things that are going around, things that are changing. Have you guys had any issues with your submitting background checks, concerns from your HR person or whomever's doing background checks for you guys? I see you guys shaking your head no. So that's a good thing, that knowing that that's flowing pretty smooth for us. Also, I want to talk about ELS. So how's it going with you guys being able to enter information into ELS? I know there's been updates where they said you guys should be able to see your 521s. How's that going? Has anybody able to see those yet?
We are now able to see them here at Forest City.
You are?
Yes.
Very good. The ones
Hi,
with the signatures and everything on them, Helena?
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know.
this is Piney. I was just getting ready to email Kendra that I was able to see them and now it says blocked or sites blocked,
Okay,
but that just came up today.
okay. And Renessa, please let us know if you continue to see that error and we'll submit a ticket for you. But that's good to know that you guys are able to actually see those 521s and we're not having to actually just email it to you.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, good. Sorry about that, everyone. Let me get this pulled back up now. Okay, so what I was saying was that Act 806 was passed this last legislative session. It has to do with PRTFs, which makes some changes, but I hope that if you're not aware, that this will clear up any confusion going forward. The main one that I wanted to talk about today is 928-416, and that has to do with admissions at the PRTFs. Now, this law will go into effect August 1st. So that's an important date to remember. And what it does say is that at PRTFs, you cannot admit a child into a PRTF unless the child is first an Arkansas resident, or a child whose parent is an Arkansas resident, or a child who's placed by or on behalf of another state's child welfare agency, or a child for whom the facility is being paid by another state's Medicaid program, or a child of an active duty member or veteran of the uniformed services, or a non-resident child victim of human trafficking. So those are the only children that can be admitted. They have to fit into one of those categories. We're aware that some of you may be accepting out-of-state private pay children. You will only be able to do that if they fit into one of these categories, like their parent is an Arkansas, one of their parents is an Arkansas resident, but they're residing perhaps with someone out of state, or their parent is active military. You can accept someone from out of state if they are placed there by a different child welfare agency, but private pay out of state, if they don't fit into one of these exceptions, you will not be able to accept them moving forward. Now, if you have children that are private pay out of state currently, you are able to keep them there to finish all of their treatment, to ensure that they have a continuity of care. So we're not saying that you don't get to finish their treatment, but moving forward after that August 1st, you will have to make sure that the children that you're admitting do fall into one of those categories under 928-416. And we can send you a copy of this newly revised code section after the meeting. That's
What's considered private pay, just to make sure we're on the same page?
right. Private pay would be someone that's using their own funds to pay for all of the admission fees that you charge out of private pay, not insurance and things like that. Private pay out of state. That was the main section that I wanted to focus on today out of that code section, because I just wanted to make sure that y'all were aware of it. There's also information about quality of care, but we're still delving into that. And we can talk about more about that at a later meeting. Tanya, did
One
you?
quick question, Michelle, for you.
That?
Does private pay include like a parent's insurance? Is that included in private pay as well?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that is covered is Medicaid. So it would have to be an out-of-state Medicaid placement or child welfare placement out of state. So anything else would be considered private pay. And certainly, Renisa, thanks for the question. I think if you have a question about that, getting with the staff as soon as you have the question after, before August 1 or after August 1, so that we can run it through legal and make sure that we're all on the same page. It's a great question, but when I read it, it is very definitive, and it is just children out of state that are child welfare agency placed or Medicaid paid children. So out of state, unless they're an Arkansas resident and fit the Arkansas criteria or military. So, but if you have a situation that feels like an outlier, please, by all means, send it so that we can review it. I did pop the act into the chat box for everyone. That way you can pull it up and see it yourself and keep a copy of it. I have to keep going back to it and looking at things. So, it's new, so we're all getting adjusted to that. But I appreciate Michelle for getting on. I think the August 1 date is really critical for you all, because we're in June, but August is going to be here quickly, and we just didn't want we don't want to get to August and we have that problem. We want you guys to be well informed about it. We will be working with the Child Welfare Agency Review Board to re-promulgate or add these additional changes into the rules, but that will take us the processing time and going through APA. So it's likely those will not be in place on August 1, but the law still goes into effect. So we're just wanting to make sure you have the information ahead of time.
Sure, because I start thinking about so if it's like a pass and it's part of Medicaid, that's different. This is just related to, like, I have Blue Cross and Blue Shield private insurance, so that would not count or be appropriate.
Yeah, that's my
Beat the
understanding.
law.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for explaining that, putting that out there for us as a discussion topic for our providers. And again, like we said, if you have questions about this, please feel free to reach out to myself or to Chelsea, and we will get an answer to your question. And also, this is just, at this time, is just kind of open. Any questions that you guys may have, any topics you want to discuss. This is just kind of that, this is open floor time of our meeting. Okay. Well, Chelsea, do you have any other discussion topics for today? Kayla, do you have anything that you need to add?
I don't have anything, Shay. I put our contact information in the chat box. I know most of you have our information, but if you need anything, give us a call, send us an email. Think everything is going well with the new forms. Everybody's getting the hang of it, but if you have questions, please do not hesitate to call or email me, Brenda, or Cindy. If you call our main line, you will get one of anybody on our team. So everyone can help, but we primarily process child welfare. So give us a call if you need anything.
And I didn't have anything else either. So I think we are good to close out for today and end the meeting. And we will see you guys next month. And just let us know if you have any questions or anything that comes up. And and we will do our very best to get those answers for you. All right, thank you guys for attending today, and I will talk to you later.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.